welcome back to my channel. In today's video, we're going to work on a post-hike yoga flow that you can practice at home to release the lower body tension after hiking. You will need one block for today's practice, and let's get started. We'll begin in a tabletop position. Come down onto your hands and knees. A few rounds of cat and cows to begin with. So as you inhale, arch the back and look up. And as you exhale, rounding your back, chin to chest. Carry on with your cat and cows for a few more rounds. Gradually deepening the posture. And finishing off with your final round. Take your time. And coming back to the center. Now we're going to stretch out our ankle, so extend the right leg back and gently push your heel back and forth, dynamically moving your heel forward and backwards. Now staying there by pulling your heel towards the floor, straightening the right leg completely. And release, switch side. Changing the side, extend the left leg back. Again, dynamically moving your left heel up and down. Once again, coming into a static form, staying still, pulling your left heel down towards the floor, keeping your left leg completely straight. Back to the center. Nice job. Now walk your hands forward, tuck your toes, raise your hips up, make your way to your downward facing dog. In your downward dog, gently paddling your feet, aiming to bring your heel all the way down towards the mat. Now gently coming into stillness, pulling your hips up towards the ceiling and drawing your navel towards the thighs. And gradually walk your legs forward. Bring your legs between your palms. Keep your legs hip width apart. Interlace the fingers behind the sacrum. Pull your arms away from the back and fold. So if your hamstrings are feeling super tight, add a micro bend on your knees. And gently sway your body left and right, retracting your scapula and pulling your arms away from the back. This shoulder stretch is very effective, especially if you carried a heavy backpack during your hike. And gradually release the hands, drop your hands down, and turn your head to the left, to the right, hanging there for a few more breaths. Now bend your knees, roll yourself all the way up, back to a standing position. And take a deep breath in, exhale. Now you're going to take your block with you, so grab one block with you, placing the block flat on your mat. And take your right foot on the block, the ball of your foot stepping firmly on the block, heel stays on the floor. Take your left foot forward. Bring your heels in line with each other. Keep your legs hip width apart. Shift your weight to your right leg. Lean your weight to the right leg. Keep your right leg completely straight. Maybe gently lifting your left heel off the floor, bending the knee to really bring the weight on your right leg. Feeling the stretch on your calves. And back to the center. Now take a forward fold. Fold forward. If you have room, hands grabbing your ankle or your calves, begin to pull your forehead towards your right knee and bend the left knee. Right leg completely straight, left knee bent. Focusing on the breath. On each inhalation, lengthen your back. On each exhalation, pull yourself a little bit more towards the shin bone. And gently bend the knees, raise your body up, coming back to a standing position, and release. Take the block to the left side, and we're gonna do the same thing opposite side. Once again, take your left foot on the block, heel stays on the floor, right foot forward. Heels in line with each other, legs hip width apart. Shift your weight to your left leg. Keep your left leg completely straight. Again, maybe slightly bending your right knee. Lifting your right heel off the floor. A nice stretch for our ankle and our calves. Back to a setter, take a forward fold. Folding forward. So if you cannot reach and bring both hands towards your left ankle or your calves. Begin to pull the head towards your left shin bone and bend the right knee to deepen the stretch. So if that's too deep for you, you can just grab your elbows and just hang upside down. Again, take your awareness to the breath. On each exhalation, deepening the posture. And gently bend the knees, roll yourself all the way up, coming back to standing position, and take your left foot down. Nice job. Now take the block to the side. So we're gonna move on to an ankle stretch. So lift the right knee up, point your toes down, and set your toes behind the left heel. So try to really get the top of your foot on the floor. And if you cannot balance, one hand on the wall or on the window as a support. Gently bring your weight backwards, so lean your weight back. So if that's too much for you, you can go slightly forward. So adjust your own position according to what your body is feeling right now. And release, come out, change side. Lift the left knee up, point your toes down, and set the top of your foot behind the right heel. Once again, lean your body slightly backwards. Bring your body weight more to the back leg. And release, come out. And now we're gonna use the long side of the mat, so open the legs wide. And now turning your right foot towards the right side of the mat, going into a warrior two. So take a wider stance, separate your legs wide, reach your arms up and bend the right knee, going into a warrior two. Sink your hips a little bit lower and set your right hand inside of your right heel. Reach your left arm above your head and forward, going into side angle. With your shoulder pushing your right knee backwards. So if you have room, you can set your palm down. If you cannot reach the floor, you can always hold onto the block and stay there. And now looking down towards the mat, going into humble warrior. Both hands down. Without changing the alignment of the legs, gently press your elbows down towards the mat. So don't worry if your elbows are not touching the floor. It's all about your effort, so work towards the pose. A great stretch for our inner thigh. And walk your hands back, lifting your back heel off the floor. So with your chest facing forward, coming into a lunge. And set your back knee on the floor, join your palms in prayer, twisting your body to your right side. Pushing your elbow down and pull the chest up. And gently release, look down, release your hands. Coming into a lunge position with your left hand grabbing your left foot. Push your heel towards the hip. Sink your hips a little bit lower and stay. If you cannot balance, right hand on the wall or right hand holding onto the block. And And slowly release. Release the back foot. Walk both hands inside of your right foot. Lift the back knee off the floor. Going into our side squat, Skandasana. So turn your chest out. And lifting your left toes up towards the ceiling. Sink your hips lower. And if you cannot balance, hands on the floor or one hand back, aiming to push your hips down towards the mat. And slowly pushing yourself up, coming back to a standing position. Turning your right foot in, back to a wide-legged position. We're gonna do the opposite side. So turning your left foot towards the left side of the mat. Inhale, reach your arms up. Exhale, bending your left knee, go into warrior two. So checking your alignment, make sure your left heel is in line with the arch of the right foot. Coming into a side angle, setting your left hand inside of your heel, reach your right arm forward, keep the chest open, and with your left shoulder, pushing your left knee backwards. Nice stretch on your inner thigh. Now look down, set both hands down, humble warrior. Without changing the leg alignment, gently press your elbows down. Again, thinking about your breath. On every exhalation, sink a little bit lower. And gently walk your hands back. Take your back heel off the floor, chest facing forward, and set the back knee on the floor. And come up into a lunge with your hands in prayer, twisting your body to the left side, pushing your elbows down into your knee and turn your chest out. Elongating your spine. Once again, a nice stretch if you were carrying a backpack during your hike. Releasing the back tension. And slowly look down, release your hands, coming back to a lunge position. Take your right hand, grabbing your right foot, push your heel towards the hip and sink your hips a little bit lower. Again, if you are struggling to balance, left hand holding the wall or left hand on the block. Sink your hips low and draw your heel closer towards the hip. And try your best to keep your chest away from your thigh, the belly away from the thigh. Slowly release the back foot, come out. Walk both hands inside of your left foot. Lift the back knee off the floor, Skandasana. Turn your chest to the right and sink your hips down. Lift your right toes up towards the sky, hands in prayer. Once again, if you cannot balance, hands on the floor and sit your hips low. Gently release, press yourself up, coming back to a standing position, and join your legs together. Take a deep breath in. Exhale. Nice work. So we're gonna move on to a squat position. So separate your legs shoulder width distance. Turn your toes out 45 degrees and gradually bend the knees. Sink your hips low with your hands in prayer. Elbows pushing your knees out and stay. You might wish to close your eyes and relax. Think about sinking your hips a little bit lower, maybe squeezing your glutes to further open your inner thighs. And imagine there's someone pulling your head up to lengthen your back more. And gradually exiting the pose, hands down. You're gonna join the knees together. We're gonna go for an ankle stretch. So with your knees together, you're gonna try your best to pull your heels outwards. So push your heels outwards and sit back. So if you're already feeling some sensations on your ankle, you can just stay in upright position. If not, you can take your block with you or a cushion. Set it underneath your knees and lean your body backwards. So if you're not feeling the stretch yet, you can adjust the height. You can increase the height of the block, but if that's too much for you, Readjust the height of the block, making sure it's not stressing your joints too much. So from here, we're gonna add a shoulder stretch as well. So stretching your right arm to the left side, lock your elbow. Depress your right shoulder down and pull your arm towards your chest. And gently twisting your body to the left side to deepen the stretch on your deltoids. Release back to center, switch side. Extend the left arm to the side, lock your elbow with your right elbow. Depress the left shoulder down and pull it back towards the chest. And gently turn your body to the right side. Inhale back to center, exhale down, release. Now slowly take your block out or the cushion out, releasing the posture, send the legs forward. Take your time, you might want to shake your knees out or rotate your ankles. So moving on to some seated postures, we're gonna stretch out our glutes. First pose, you're gonna go for a cross-legged position, stacking your ankles on top of each other and keep a wide diamond shape. So make sure you're not bringing your heels too close to yourself. Push your heels forward. So if you're feeling the pressure on your ankles, push your toes down onto the mat to release some stress on your ankles. Lifting your chest up and gently hinging from your hips and fold. Walk your hands forward and stay. If you want to relax your head as well, you can always place a cushion or a block on the ankle and bring your forehead down. Gradually exit, come out. We're gonna do the opposite side, so stacking our left ankle on top this time. Again, lift your chest, hinging from your hips, gently fold. If you're not ready yet, take your time. Allow your body to gradually go into the pose. And slowly come out, release the posture, release the legs forward, rotate your ankles if you need. And coming to our final posture, we're gonna go for a double pigeon pose. So bending your knees and set your right heel on top of your left knee. And with your right knee on top of your left heel, bring both shins parallel. So even if your knee is not touching the heel yet, don't worry. Sit up tall and straight and lean your weight forward. Hinging from your hips, press your belly forward, walk your hands forward. So if that's too much pressure on the knee, you can always go for easy cross leg or a wide cross leg position and fold, okay? So adjust yourself, choose your own option. And if you're unable to fold forward completely yet, you can set a block in front of you and rest your elbows down. So in order to deepen the stretch, I suggest you to lengthen your back more and focus on getting your belly towards your thigh before folding deeper. And slowly roll yourself up, coming out of the posture, release the legs, gently dropping your knees to the left and to the right. So once again, we're gonna repeat opposite side. So this time with your left leg on top. Again, if you're struggling in double pigeon, if you're rounding your back like that, you can just go for a seated cross-legged position, but keep your knees wide to deepen the stretch on your outer hip, okay? So if you're fine, go for your double pigeon pose with your left heel on top of your right knee, left knee on top of your right heel. Take your time, chest lifted, hinging from your hips, and fold. Again, use blocks if you need. And take your time. So notice the moment you start to lengthen your back, you immediately feel a deeper sensation on the outer hip. Relaxing into your stretch without trying to fight against the discomfort. Always remember, we are not our thoughts. Gently walk your hands back, exit, come out. Walk your legs forward, once again, gently dropping your knees to the left and to the right. So that's it for today's class. Hope you guys are feeling much better right now. And if you do like my video, give me a thumbs up and subscribe my channel. And I will see you in next video. Namaste.